The content of this video is not medical advice or a substitute for physical therapy. Please consult your physician or physical therapist before starting any exercise program.
Have you noticed that your knees are getting increasingly stiff? Maybe along the front of the kneecap here where the patellar tendon is starting to feel really tight and maybe even sore, especially when you're getting down on the floor to play with your dog or a small child. Well, if that's the case for you, I've got 3 exercises for you to improve the mobility around your knees so that you can get down on the floor and move around down there effortlessly. All right, now to get started, we got to get on the floor. And then once you're down here, you are going to take a hand towel, kind of like what would be hanging in your bathroom, fold it lengthwise first and then crosswise. And then I just want you to roll it up. Create a little towel roll here. And what we're going to do is put that towel roll behind your knee and bring your calf toward your thigh a little bit. And then we're going to clasp the hands around the shin. Sit up nice and tall so you don't hurt your back. And then you're going to gently start to pull your calf toward your thigh. And what that's going to do is it's making the knee bend around the towel roll and it's going to stretch that patellar tendon a little bit. So the key here is don't do it fast. Don't pull too hard. Hold for only a couple of seconds and then you're going to let go. So you're going to do this kind of on-off stretch for that tendon there, being careful to avoid pain or strain here at all costs. So I want you to do about 8 to 10 of these on each knee. So make sure after you finish one side, you set up on the other side and you do the same thing. So once again, into and out of the stretch, 8 to 10 times. All right, now once you've done that, you've loosened up the patellar tendon just a little bit, we're going to transition to all fours for the second exercise. So you're probably going to want a padded surface here, like folded blankets or a nice thick pad like this one. So place your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, and then place the tops of your feet on your mat or on the surface. If that makes your feet cramp, you can always tuck your toes under, but I find this is more comfortable for most people. Go ahead and sit back toward your heels, but only go as far as you have no pain or strain in the knees, right? So all we're looking for is to really ask the knees to bend a bit more deeply, and then we're going to go back to all fours. Once again, you're going into and out of this position, not staying so long that you give your body time to be painful or start to tighten up somewhere. You're just going to ease in and out of it and try to gently increase your ability to sit back towards your heels. Now, if you already can walk your hands back and really sit on your heels, that's great. So use whatever range of motion you have. You don't have to stop where I'm stopping if you have the ability to do more. Once again, I want you to do about 8 to 10 of those before you move to the third exercise. Now, before we start the third exercise, I want to remind you that if you find this content helpful, please click like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And do please share this information with friends and family members that you think would find it most helpful. All right, now for exercise number 3, you're going to need a little bit more knee mobility even to get started because we're going to be sitting on our heels at first. So if you can't quite sit on your heels yet, take a block or a thick book and put that under your bottom so that it's not such a big ordeal to sit like this. So once you're here, and just remember, if you can't quite sit like this yet, work on the first 2 exercises until you can, because you will start to increase your mobility with those first 2. All right, now, once you get to this point, you may be sitting on a block, you may be sitting on your heels, and then what we're going to do is gently transition to the side. So you're taking your hips off to one side, and you'll see and feel that that makes the knees rotate just a little bit. We're going to go back to the center and take the hips in the other direction. So once again, do not stay in any one position too long and create pain or strain. This should be gentle as you are moving from left to right with your hips. Now, I only want you to do 3 or 4 to each side, depending on what you tolerate. If you hear some little crackles going on there and they're not accompanied by pain, they shouldn't be, right? But if you hear some little crackles in there, it's probably just that stiff tissue starting to move again. All right, I hope you found this information helpful and you're starting to feel a little bit looser in the knees. That's all I've got for you today. Until next time, keep moving and be well.